Hello everyone, peace of Christ to all. Today we are going to answer about what Allah Akbar means. And a Christian, very well-known Christian, who is very active to speak about Islam, he said he make a statement about this. So we are going to correct what he said, because he said that Allah Akbar mean God is great. Sometimes Christians, they sponsor Islam without knowing what they are doing. If we go in the old Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew, we will find the following. And by the way, everything I say to you, please go check it out. Don't take things for granted. Okay, be smart. We will find that in the old Hebrew we have a word which is al, and in the new Hebrew we have a word which is il. However, both of them, they mean God. So first let us see what is al and where we can find al. As an example, the name of the prophet Daniel. Daniel is nothing but a complex of words, Dan and I and Al. So Dan mean judge, I mean my, Al mean God. So God is my judge. As simple as that. So Al is what? Is a word mean God. Here you notice with me that the al is appearing at the end of the name. Why it's appearing in the end of the name? My own observation, I find it like it's about how important this person is, and what is the statement is about. Like he's a person witnessing for God, or he is God himself. When mostly speak about God himself, we will notice that this al will appear in the beginning of the word. Let us see more reference. If we go and see the following names: Israel, Michael, Ezekiel, all those in the old Hebrew was not really the way it is today. It was ending with al. So Israel wasn't il, it was al. Same as Michael, it was Michael. Same Ezekiel, it was Ezekiel. And there's some little different pronunciation. As you see here, there's more a. So this is the ancient Hebrew. Now, what is that really telling us? What is telling us that, remember, the Hebrew is born of another language. It's not really exists by itself. Like it took time to develop as a language by itself, but it's born of other language. And always those words is coming from somewhere, and the somewhere is the Aramaic. Remember, Abraham himself was an Aramaic man. He is not coming from India or coming from Sri Lanka. He is an Aramaic. So it's very normal that words which is used by the pagans before Abraham became a believer, which just a generic word of God, is used again. This is not the name of God. Remember, when Moses came, he spoke to God. He said to God, "What I'm going to tell my people about you? Who are you?" He said to him, "I am." So God never gave a name. Like you see, Christians say the Bible have names for God, like Jehovah, Yahweh. This is actually not, those are not names. There's no names. Those are, let us say, are an attribute or a title for God. To make it clear, we are talking about God. As an example, even the word Elohim, it can be for mean God. It can be even an angel. So it's let us say it's a phrase of respect for God, not a name. There's no names, and actually in the whole Bible you will not find names. And this is what we showed you. Like if you go and look at the name of Israel, you will find that this is a complex of words, mean struggling with God, or going straight with God. So Michael is the same, Ezekiel is the same. There's no really a name as much it is a statement, or making a statement. If we go to different reference, we will find the following: Gabriel, It was Gabriel. Gabriel, E-L. It used to be Gabriel. And you will notice in Arabic, Muhammad, he is using Gabriel, which means he is using this one, the new Hebrew, not the ancient. So Gabriel is Gabriel, Ishmael is Ishmael, and Muhammad again is using the El, which means the new Hebrew. Samuel is Samuel, and Muhammad is using the new Hebrew. And Daniel, we spoke about it already. What does that tell us? It's telling us that Al, when it appears in the old languages, it presents God, the same as El. It's nothing but a word meaning God. And that will lead us to understand what Allah is about soon. If we go here in this verse in the Quran, chapter 2, verse number 92, and I choose this verse carefully because it's giving me a great example of the old Hebrew and the new Hebrew. In this verse, chapter 292, it says, مَنْ كَانَ عَدُوَّ اللَّهِ وَمَلَائِكَتَهُ وَرُسُلُهِ وَجِبْرِيلَ وَمِيكَالَ. So what does that mean? The one who is an enemy for Allah and his angels and his prophet, his messengers, and Jibreel. This is El, Jibreel. The same as we said El, the new Hebrew. In the new Hebrew, all right, El. But here we see Muhammad is speaking about Mikael, but he don't say Mikael. He said Mikal. So what Muhammad he used the ancient Hebrew. He used A, L. So in this verse, we will find a great example how El and Al is used in one verse. And this is obvious that Muhammad, he was a thief. He was just copying of somebody else. If we try to go to see some reference in different place, we will find the following. Christians in Malaysia are forbidden to use the word Allah because it's not a name. Muslims reject that. If we go in the Quran, we will find the first verse in the Quran, and this is repeated all over the Quran, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. You will notice that all the names of Allah, period, all of them, like you go and check the 99 names of Allah, all of them, they start with Al. Al, which means God. So Bismillah, Al, Al-Rahman, Al, Al-Rahim, Al. So all the names of Allah always start with A, L, with no exception. Allah is the name of the God of Islam, is not a word meaning God. It's very naive to say so. However, if we think about it, if Allah is the name of God, then the name cannot be changed. To make it sorry, to make it simple, if my name is a Christian, you don't take the C from the first of my letters of my name because this is my name. You cannot do that. You cannot change the name. You cannot replace the name with, you cannot add letters or take letters off. So if we go in the Quran and we read in Arabic, you will see here it says Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahmanur Rahim. As you see, the L, it's all over. Then we will see here the following, that Allah is nothing but the following. Al, Lah. We showed you how Al appear. And then the same as Ar-Rahman. Al-Rahman. And then the same as Al-Rahim. What does that mean? God Lah, God Rahman, God Rahim. Sorry, here we have a mistake. Rahim. So we have Ar-Rahman, Al-Rahim, Al-Lah. If you look with me here in the second verse, chapter 1, verse number 2, you will see that the letter which is exist in the beginning of this name, Allah, is disappearing here. Why? As I said, you cannot take something off the name. This is a holy name. We cannot take alifs, we cannot take letters off. That will be a corruption. So that's mean that this is not really a name. This is not part of the name yet. This is additional. So look what the Quran says. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdu in Arabic mean thanks or praise or thank you. Then you say li lah, which mean li lah. I'm using the mouse to write, so forgive me. It's not if it's not too much good. So li lah. What li mean in Arabic? To. So thanks to lah. I mean, how clear we can make it more than this? So when somebody says that the name of Allah, the name of the God of Islam, or the word of Allah is word being God, that's very ignorant, because this is absolutely false. As you see, this is the true name of the God of Islam. This is why we can take off those letters to say thanks to Lah. If Allah is the name, who is Lah then? If this is the name, Allah, then here Allah is gone. This is li lah. What happened? Who is this lah we are being thankful for? Is it a different God? The Muslim will say, sure, no. This is the same as Allah. This is lah. So it's very easy, very simple. In the same time, you will see here in the front of us, all of them, they start with Al, as we said. Al mean God. So Al-Rahman mean God Ar-Rahman, God Rahman, God Rahim, God, etc. All the names of Allah, all of them, they start with Al. Al. Why? Because those are names or attribute belong to Al. Who is Al? He is God. So Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, thanks to Lah. Let us continue. I noticed that most of people, they are just copy paste. If you go in the internet, you will find tons of people saying the same, like this a Christian person who said in his YouTube that Allah Akbar mean God is great, because most of people are not really educated, but they are copy paste. This is the book of Maulana Muhammad Ali, big sheikh. I don't know what kind of sheikh he is, but he is very shaky. So he said here, if you read with me, Allah is not a contraction of Al-Ilah. You will notice that a lot of people, they are copying this. Allah is a counteraction of the Al-Ilah. Allah, I will show you that this is very ignorant to say too. We will analyze it and we will expose it. That's absolutely false. Even Arabic Christian, they might say that. Even as I told you, there's many people, even they claim to be priests, they are not educated. So let us prove how this is to be false. We will do it one by one. If we go in the Muslim websites, this is Islam web.net, official Islamic website, very well known, very famous. All right. So the question here about the name of Allah, I have been in discussion with a friend. You can freeze the video so you can read it all just to save time. Then, or you can pause the video. The answer is coming. The name Allah can be translated as God for new Muslims. So those guys, they are being friendly, saying, okay, you know what, we have a new person who is new Muslim. It's okay to say to him, Allah is God, you know, for new Muslims. But in the Quran or in the Hadith, we don't think it is accepted or is approved. Rather, it's an obligation to leave the name of Allah in its original form, because this is the name. Allah, is Allah the proper name for our Lord. So this is not a word meaning God, and all the Muslims, they reject what this guy he said. So are you speaking about the God of Islam, or you are speaking about the God of the Christians? When somebody says to me that Christians, Arab Christians, they use the word Allah, and that proves that the word Allah means God, because the Arab Christian in the Middle East, they use it as a word meaning God. That's a very false argument, and actually very naive, because the Arab Christians in the Middle East, they've been forced to change everything they have. Imagine if we send one of you to live under ISIS for one day. You will change your clothes, you will change your name, you will change your haircut, you will change your food, you change everything. So those poor Christians are living under the filth of the Islamic occupation for 1400 years. So you don't judge what and how this name work and how it changed and how it came to be by Christians in the Middle East using it as a word meaning God. They are using it as a word meaning God because they don't believe in Allah anyway, because they've been forced to. And this is why you see the Muslims themselves, they don't accept anyone to say that Allah is a word meaning God. You know, the meaning of God can come like automatically with it, because when you say, like when I say Trump, I mean the president, because now he is a president. But yesterday, before the election, if I say Trump, I don't mean the president. So there is a value included in the word, because this name supposedly is the name of the God. So you do not need to say Allah is a word meaning God, for Allah is the name of this God. So it's very naive to say such a statement. Even the Muslims don't agree with you. We continue. If we go to Sahih al-Bukhari, and I will show you the reference, as you see the hadith here in front of you. This is the reference. Let me turn this one off so you guys can see the numbers. All right. So in Sahih al-Bukhari, you will notice that they are talking about how Muhammad started his religion. When Muhammad started his religion, his wife Khadija, she took him to her cousin, who he was a pagan person who became a Sabian, and then he became a Nasara. Nasara is not a Christian. Many people, they think Nasara is a Christian. He did not, like here they translate, they say he became a Christian. The fact, it doesn't say even that in Arabic. It says he became Nasrani. Nasara are a cult like Jehovah's Witnesses, rejected by the Christians. So this guy, it says here, وكان his real name, look at his name, ورق بن نوفل ابن أسد ابن عبد العزة. He is the son of his grandfather, his name, the slave of Al-Uzza. You see, Al-Uzza start with A-L. His grandfather, his name is the slave of Uzza, slave of one of the pagan gods. So then this guy, according to the hadith here, he became Nasrani, not a Christian. In the translation, as you see here, they said Christian. And then it says, and he used to write the Arabic writing of what? What Arabic writing? Of what? Of the Bible, of the gospel. So he became Nasara, not a Christian, and he used to write Arabic writing, and he used to write the gospel in Arabic as much as Allah wished him to write. This is the manuscript, the real script of the Quran. This is the founder of the Quran, Waraq ibn Nawfal. This is why you see Muhammad, when this guy he died, Muhammad he tried to commit suicide many times. If you go down here, you will see it says that the inspiration of Allah, Waraqa he died. When Waraqa he died, the inspiration of Allah paused. Read with me. Waraqa died, and the divine inspiration was also paused. Now, what the connection between divine inspiration and death of a man? His name is Waraqa, and he's not a prophet. And then for a while, and the prophet became so sad, as we heard, he intended several times to throw himself from the top of the high mountains. So Muhammad was so badly injured by the death of Waraqa, because now he cannot fabricate Quran. And I believe what happened, Muhammad later, he was able to get the book which Waraqa was translating, and then he started, reading from it. I believe strongly Muhammad, he knew how to write, how to read, and we can prove it easy. So this is a book written by Waraqa about the gospel of his own translation. We don't know what he wrote there. So as you see here from the beginning, the Muslim, they say to you, as Allah wished him to write. As Allah wished him to write. But the Arab, they use the name Allah. Even the father of Muhammad, his name is Abdullah. Okay, he is the name of Abdullah. So Allah exists before Muhammad. And the Arab, they worship Allah, and he was one of the gods of Islam. There is many statements they say, the Arab, they used to worship many gods. However, by worshiping those gods, they try to get close to Allah. Some of those statements are true, but some are false, because there's other gods too. They were in competition with Allah, and many other religions exist in the Arabian Peninsula, even Mecca. They don't even worship Allah at all, and we will show you that very soon. If we go in the Quran, chapter 34, verse number 3, you will see that the word Akbar, as we see it here in Arabic, let us look together. This is the word Akbar. The word Akbar, translated by Muslims, sometime greater, and sometime larger, and sometime bigger. Bigger. So Akbar is not really about greater. Just to give you some little Arabic. Actually, let us show you more verses, and then I will give you a note about Arabic. In chapter 10, verse number 61, you will see the following. The translation appear again for the word Akbar. This is the word Akbar. Bigger, bigger, bigger. You will notice in the Arabic, here we have the word Asghar. Asghar means smaller. What made this word come as a smaller? In Arabic, simply, if you add in the front of a name, this is let us say, most of the cases, let us say we have a person, his name is Jamil. Jamil. Jamil means like handsome, beautiful. Jamil. So Jamil mean beautiful. We want to make this name, he is more beautiful, which means we are comparing between him and someone else. So what we do, we add in the front of it a. That will make him Ajmal. And this is exactly what is the case of Akbar. Akbar is you comparing between two things at least. It might be more than two things. So let us say we have 100 students, but this guy is atwal. Atwal. Atwal mean he is taller. So how we make him taller? What we added? The word in Arabic is tawil. We added in the front the letter A, and that make it atwal, which means he is taller, not tallest, taller. There's same as in English. You have big, bigger, and biggest. In Arabic here we are talking about the word bigger, as you see. So if Allah, he is saying he is the greatest, as some Muslims try to fool us, and some naive Christians, they try to copy paste. Allah is the greatest from what? You see, you cannot compare between two from different kind. The Muslims themselves, they say to us, Allah is not like anything. So how he say that he is Akbar? If the word Akbar mean the greatest, how he say he is the greatest? Greatest in what? He is not from the same kind, so he can't be compared. How you can compare a human to small tiny cockroach? How you can compare God to the whole earth? Is nothing for God. You see the whole galaxy, the earth is in the galaxy. We have many galaxies, and the earth is not even a dust in this galaxy. So imagine we compare God and we say he is Akbar. Akbar from what? This is an insult. But what happened, they were talking about a God who is Akbar as an idol. Around Kaaba there is many idols, and every God have a name, and every God have an idol to present him in the earth. All those gods supposedly are living in the sky, but they have an idol down in the earth. Let us read more. A poetry man, his name is Aus ibn Hajar. He said, swearing by Allah, he said, وَبِاللَّاتِ وَالْعُزَّى وَمَنْ دَانَ دِينَهَا وَبِاللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ مِنْهُنَّ أَكْبَرُ. I swear by Al-Lat, Al-Lat, and Al-Uzza, and Allah, that Allah is bigger than them. What is Al-Lat and what is Al-Uzza? Is an idols. And he is using the word Akbar, comparing to how big he is and how small they are. And that's very normal, because when they designed them, remember, Al-Lat and Al-Uzza, they are the daughters of Allah. So they are smaller by size for two reasons. They are the daughters of this Allah, and then they are females, and always female as drawn to be smaller, because this is normal things to happen, like male are bigger, female are smaller. If you go in the Quran in chapter 23, verse number 14, you will find the following. You will find Allah compare himself to who? To Baal. Who is Baal? Baal is another moon god. You see, the funny about Islam, the Muslims do not know that there is competition about who is the one really the moon god. He is Baal, he is Sin, he is Lah. So those are in competition, but the fact all of them, they present one God. So look what Allah he says here in chapter 23 verse number 14. I'm assuming that the one is talking is Allah, because that will make it more funny. Look, Allah is saying that he created, and by the way he created the human being is very funny, very stupid, because imagine he is saying that he created the nutfa, which means the sperm, became a clot of a congealed blood, and this is very funny, stupid, a clear mistake in science. However, this is not our topic. Allah is comparing himself to other creators. How he compare himself? He says he is the best of the creators. Now, who are they, the best in the creators he's speaking about? The other gods. Because this cannot be correct unless there is other creators. Imagine I am the only student in the classroom, and they say to you, I am the best student in this class. That's a lie. That is a lie, because I am the only one as a student in this classroom. So how you say to me, how you say to others, you are the best of the class when there is nobody else? It's a cheating. It's a stupid statement. So because Allah he agree that there is other creators, then he say he is the best of the creators. And remember here, he is talking about creating the human being. Other creators, maybe they created birds and mosquitoes and etc. As Jesus, he did create a bird. Let us continue. In the book of Al-Mustadrak ala Sahihain, Kitab al-Hijra, you will see that Ali, he broke the Akbar Sanam. He broke what? The Akbar Sanam. What is that? Akbar is the biggest idol. And this was the biggest. فَأَلْقَيْتُ صَنَمَهُمِ الْأَكْبَرِ. So I climb over the Kaaba, and they have Akbar Sanam, the biggest idol. So what the Arab used to do, the one who is victorious, he is the one, the majority of people worship him. They took their biggest idol and they place it in the top of the Kaaba. And that means he is the biggest God. He is Akbar. So whoever is placed there is called Akbar. This is why Muhammad was saying Allahu Akbar, because now Allah is bigger than yours. You used to have bigger there. You have to use your idol there. You used to have Hubal there. You have to use Uzza there. You have to use Allat. However, Hubal was mostly is the bigger, and some in different area they have Baal, depending on location. In the Arabian Peninsula, there's more than 26 Kaaba. One of them is the one located in Mecca. Let us continue. In the British Wikipedia and the book of Dr. Yusuf Al-Qimni, he is a Muslim, Sayyid Al-Qimni, he proved with no question that there was three gods. They are the major gods in the Arabian Peninsula. So he said the following, and for sure you can go and check his book, print number 2, page number 114. You will see he is stating there, with all the proofs and reference, that there was three gods: the moon god, the sun god, and they have a son which is Ishtar. And then the big god of this competition, he is the moon god, and that is La. So what he say here, Wal Ilahu Akbar. Do you see the word Akbar? This is the word Akbar. So always in those religions there is Akbar. There's God who is Akbar. Akbar in what? If we go to the Quran itself, we will see how Akbar is described. We remember that we have the story of Abraham in the Quran. But before we go there, look in chapter 37 verse number 25. It says, are you going to worship Baal, and forsake Allah the great, the best of the creators? We will go back to that later to give it more details. If we go in the hadith, you will find that it says that we used to worship stones, and when we find a better stone, than the first one, we would throw the first one and take the later. This is how the Arab used to live. They always worship stones, and this is why Muhammad, he kissed black stone. Black stone is nothing but from the previous religion exists before him, who worship and bow down to the stones. In different hadith we will find that Muhammad, he used to go down, he used to go to the stone and he kiss it and he prostrate in the front of it, as you see in the front of you with the reference. He used to kiss the black stone and prostrate himself on it. Now why Muhammad is doing that? What is the purpose of this? If we go back and search for the story of Abraham, I don't want to miss that one. Let's see. قال بازغة. In chapter 6, verse number 78, and actually 77, 76, I advise you to read it all. You will see, and this is the Muslim translation, remember, and it's not my translation. When the night curved him, curved who? Abraham. This is a story about, all the story is about Abraham, as you see. So when the night curved him, he saw a star, and he said, this is my Lord. And then when the star disappeared, he said, I don't like the one who said. So Abraham, he worshipped first a star. Then he saw the moon, and then he said, this is my Lord. And then when the moon disappeared, he said, I don't like the one who disappeared. Then he saw the sun rising in splendor. He said, this is my Lord. This is the greatest of all. Is it really saying the greatest? Absolutely false. In Arabic it says هذا أكبر. He is the greatest in what? We are talking about the physical objects. How he can be greatest? What is the greatest? What the greatness of sun over the moon and the star? The sun is a star anyway. This is showing us how stupid the one who made the Quran. Why the sun is the greatest? Because it looks bigger, powerful. So it is Akbar. If we go in Arabic, we will find the following. We don't find the word the greatest. We will find that this is bigger. Look what it says. قال هذا ربي هذا أكبر. This is bigger. And obviously he is comparing between sizes, and he is comparing between which one to worship, and what is his favorite, his final decision. It was Akbar, God, the biggest God. The star is so far, is so tiny, so small. Then he saw the moon is bigger, and then he saw the sun is the biggest. So he said, this is Akbar. You will notice he did not say that about the moon and about the star. He said that about the sun. Let us see more, because we have still a lot more to share. We mentioned to you before that the word Baal, if you remember, end with Al. And we mentioned to you that the word Allat start with Al. Al-Uzza start with Al. So sometimes the word Al as word mean God can be in the beginning, sometimes can come at the end, as we showed you in the name of Mekal, where Muhammad himself, he used the same word, Mekal exactly. You will see here that the Quran chapter 37 verse 125 says, will you call upon Baal, what his name? Baal, and forsake the best of the creators? So here actually the word in Arabic is Ahsanul Khaliqeen. You remember we told you, if you want to make something better, you add a at the end, at the beginning of the word. You add the letter A, if you remember. So here Quran added the word a before the word Hasan. 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 You know, let me write it for you here. Hasan. As I said, I'm using the mouse, so the writing is not good. So to make Hasan Ahsan, which mean Hasan mean good or fine, and then to make it better or better than the one after it, whatever the description is, I say Ahsan. So obviously Akbar and Ahsan, and there is many descriptions in the Quran full of those things. Allah is bigger, Allah is better, Allah is etc. All of them, they are using a to make him bigger, either in size or better in in creation. As you see here, it says he is the best of the creators. How this can be? This must be a mistake, because there is no other creator save Allah, supposedly. By Allah comparing himself to Baal and saying he is the best of the creators, he just admitted that he is a creator, the same as Baal is a creator, but yet he is the best. And that obviously is admitting from the one who wrote the Quran that Baal is a creator. However, we have a competition. We have Ba and El, and we have Allah, El, La. They are in competition together. Who is the best of the creators? So Allah is saying to those, or supposedly Muhammad, saying that, okay, you have Baal, but I have better. He is better creator. My Allah is better. My God, which means Allah, is better. He is the best of the creators. So if you ask Muslims how Allah can be the best of the creators, they will say to you, here the Quran is exaggerating, there's no other creators. That's false. Or if he's smart, he will say to you, okay, there's someone who created a phone. Don't be stupid. This verse is talking about creating a human being, giving life. It doesn't say about creation. When God, you know, like religious books speak about creation, it's not creating of computers. Don't be stupid. Stop being a potato. It's about creating a life. So Allah is saying he is the best of the creators, and this is mean he approved that Baal is a creator, but he is the best. And this is exactly what was happening in that time. There's many gods and they are in competition. My God is better than your God. Okay, your God is a creator, but my God is the best of the creators. Then we will find something else. The issue did not over yet, which is copy paste from everybody. First of all, there's nothing is called Al-Ilah. Who told you this is I? You see, in Arabic, when we write in English, we are trying to present the sound, but there is no I in the Arabic language. We are just trying to make a voice or a sound. So I can make it ill. Ill. Let me switch the language. What's happening? La ilaha illa. La here mean no, there's none. Illa, except. Aha. You see? La ilaha. Aha. So what this is E-L, aha. Simply it is E-L, no eel. No eel, aha, is kind of saying there's no eel worth to worship. No, la, this is la. So forget about it. This is what mean no. There's none. Eel, God. Aha, worth of worship. So la ilaha illa al, except. This is mean again. Remember, this is mean except al. La. So the word Allah is not coming from ilah. There's nothing called ilah. It's not even one word. It is two words. It's il, aha. Il is God, aha is worth to worship. So we should not copy paste from others and just say, okay, because everybody's saying the same, we repeat and we say the same. This is absolutely false. La ilaha, actually it's confirmed what we said about al and il. Then you will find here just a collection of names used by many nations of Al. Al-Uzza, Al-Lat, Allah, Al-Lah, and then Al-Masih in Arabic. Al-Masih, A-L, you see, Al-Masih in Arabic, Al-Masih. Why Al-Masih he have AL in front of him? For he is God. The Muslim, the ignorant, they copy the name of Al-Masih without noticing that they just copy a complex word which mean the God Christ. Same as Allah, ha, which is some they say ilah, because as we mentioned to you before, if you remember, through history, al became al. So this is what people, they think it is ilah. You know, they think it is ilah. It's not really. It's not. It is ilaha. Ilha, worth of worship. As you see, there's A-H-A. We're trying just to make the sound, not L-A-H-A, A-H. So we have a very misunderstanding, and people, they are really need to understand that not everything they hear is true. Be careful, for many they are copy-paste. Not necessarily they are trying to deceive you, but you know, like I heard myself in the churches where they say that Ishmael is the father of the Arab. You ask the priest, where you get this from? You have no idea. Bishops, high authority in the churches, nobody want to sit and study carefully before he open his mouth. And we have to understand that sometimes people, they might say something that might be true, and sometimes people, they might say something that might be very wrong. And it's on you to investigate what is true and what is wrong. So please be sure to investigate before you accept what people they say to you. To contact me and ask me more questions, as you see, we have in the screen in front of you, this is my address, and you can click there actually, and you can go to my page in Facebook or in Twitter, and you can contact me if you wish to do so, or if you like to help us in donation. God bless you, and thank you very much. Christ is Lord. Islam is false. I mean to that.